building is from 1472, and it was also the first building of our university. In the meantime, our university developed into a hub of science and technology with a focus on mobility, digitalization, and artificial intelligence. We are very happy to be one of the 9 members of ACE²-EU, and we all have a vision. The vision of a university alliance that is unique on one side, an alliance which is built on the different strengths of each of our 9 members, but also on common values which we have. And an alliance that shows that together we are strong and more as the sum of our individual strengths. Of course, our students are in the focus of our attention at all our universities. And therefore, we are delighted by the cultural and diversity presented from more than 300 students from all partner countries, and I think from 16 nations in our Klages Cultural Festival. That festival was more than a part of our Congress. It is a vivid reflection of the European idea itself. Through music, movement, and conversation, the festival embodied what ACE²-EU stands for. A Europe that learns and thrives its strengths of diversity. Today, we open the assembly. We continue the spirit. We are transforming inspirations into structures and creativity into corporations. Our alliance was founded on the conviction that the great transformation of our time can only be mastered together. And I would like to highlight another point. Europe's success will depend on a vivid cooperation between all countries of Europe and also of the member states of Europe. We are in a state of multilateral crisis, facing economic, environmental, and geostrategic challenges. I am convinced we can overcome these challenges, and EU member candidates are more than 600 million people living in these countries. So we have a larger population than the US and Russia together in Europe. And with a gross domestic product of over 20 trillion US dollar, we have an economic power close to the US and close to China, 10 times as much as Russia. So we should take the challenges we face with confidence. Confidence based on the strengths and the common values that we have. Because the cooperation in Europe is an opportunity for each of us. The EU University Alliance is one of many steps in this direction. As we open this assembly, let us take pride to what we have achieved. But let us also look ahead. The task before us is to turn cooperation now into coherence, to transform networks into enduring structures, and to make our shared European campus a tangible and lasting reality. To all students, you are the heart of this alliance, and you are our future. To all partners, you are the strength of the alliance. And to all colleagues and leaders, we are the enablers. Together, we can shape a European university that creates future. Therefore, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for all the supporters of ACE²-EU who organized this event, who take responsibility in this activity, especially dear João, Moutão. You are heading this organization and you are the head, and many thanks for the support and the inspiration you give and also many thanks for all the people also from our university who did the organization and make this assembly and this activity brought it to life. So many thanks for being here, and yeah, good luck, and we are looking for a strong Europe with positioning us and the young people, the students, as the future. Thank you very much.
Professor Schober, for situating our alliance into the contemporary European politics and developments. And thank you also for indirectly already handing over to the next person I would like to invite up to the stage, to Professor Dr. João Moutão, who's not only the president and one of the prestigious universities in Portugal, but also, and very importantly to us here today, the coordinator and the leader of our ACE²-EU Alliance. Welcome.
Thank you all. I cannot express the honor of being here representing all our 9 institutions. So I would like to first greet President Walter Schober, and also my colleagues, President and Rectors from all institutions, Dr. Tobias, Vanessa Debiais-Sainton, that will join us later, dear students, colleagues, partners, external stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. Well, before anything else, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to President Walter and also to Daniel for hosting this extraordinary event and for your hospitality. It's been a great time here in Ingolstadt. Thank you so much. And well, this is it. This is it. This is the moment that we have been waiting for. More than 400 people gathered, more than 16 nationalities. But one alliance, one vision. And our vision now has become reality. And today we make history. And we know that Europe is facing a big challenge. We cannot fall behind. But this is why collaboration is no longer optional. It is mandatory. Without that, we won't be successful. We don't. No single institution can meet tomorrow's challenge alone. We know that. So none of us possess all the expertise, all the resources, the capacity required to meet the demands of our rapidly evolving world. We know that, but our mission transcends economics. Our mission transcends economics. We are custodians of European values, democracy, academic freedom, social inclusion, cultural diversity, and commitment with evidence-based knowledge. So when democratic institutions face pressure, when disinformation spreads, when isolation emerges, we, universities, we must demonstrate the power of collaboration, That's important. This remains our guiding principle. This remains our guiding principle. So, we are already delivering. We are delivering new learning opportunities for our students. We are transforming research and transform ideas in reality. We are connecting our communities, and we are building the digital foundations of our borderless campus. And perhaps the most inspiring achievement during this week was the establishment of our governance model with our 3 advisory boards, where our students participate in the governance. The staff also shape our strategy, and our external partners, they collaborate with their expertise. So it is for us, for the steering group, the board without the president and directors, we had a very nice discussion during these days, and we are in conditions to announce everyone our deliberation to move forward for the creation of a unique legal entity for our ACE²-EU alliance. So this will be a great achievement for us. We are not yet there, so this is what we intend to do, but it was already a great decision. But what I want to say to everyone is that we will move forward not with hesitation, but with determination, and not with doubts, with convictions. Our legal entity that we want to create in Brussels, the art of European governance, sends a clear message. ACE²-EU is both local and European, rooted in our 9 regions, but yet reaching across Europe. Okay? We know that this is not the end. This is the beginning. I must say, this is the beginning. So, for the next years, I must tell you, we need to scale our learning opportunities, strengthen our research and innovation collaboration, fully establish our e-campus, and expand mobility opportunities for every student, teacher, and staff member. So, this work will demand a lot from everyone in this theater. Presidents and rectors, we need you to provide strategic leadership. We need our working package leaders to driving our implementation. Students, to bring your energy and fresh perspectives. Administrative staff, ensuring operational excellence. And of course, our external stakeholders to contribute with your expertise. Everyone is essential, every contributor matters. But this is the moment, we must believe it. This is the moment of our lives. The moment where we can make the difference and shape the next future European generations. This is the future we are choosing. This is history being made today, make it clear. So, I want to say that today we could travel very easily across Europe without barriers, but we are living a dream of our European founders, Schuman, Monet, Delors, who imagined a continent without walls. We are the beneficiaries of their courage, their vision, and their determination. And we are beneficiaries of their courage, their vision and their determination, but gratitude alone is not enough. Receiving their legacy means inherit the responsibility to build an even better European for those who follow us. And I want here to talk about Phyllis. You know who is Phyllis? Phyllis is our first ACE²-EU baby. He is the son of our colleague, Una Blanc, that participates with us in this application. She's now in the maternity leave with Phyllis. So, Phyllis is not here, but maybe Phyllis is the reason why we are here. So, we are creating a university that maybe Phyllis could join in the future. Maybe Phyllis could come here to study automobile engineering and change German automobile engineering. No, so maybe Phyllis could go to Portugal, study bioeconomy and circular economy, and produce the best Portuguese airlines. Maybe he could choose to go to Macedonia to study law and become a very famous European law. Or maybe there he could meet a very nice Irish girl and marry her and forge his own path. We don't know that his journey, but we know this. Phyllis and all future generations deserve an Europe built on opportunities, collaboration and freedom, a world where he can study where his passion leads, where he collaborates with the best minds across Europe, where he can live free, free to move, free to learn, free to create, free to become whoever he chooses to be. This is the Europe we are building, and the Europe that Phyllis and thousands like him deserve. I want to close quoting a very famous Portuguese poetess, Sofia Mel Braga, that written these words for another dawn on April 25, 1974, when Portugal moved from dictatorship to democracy, from isolation to European community. Yet her words speak to every dawn of transformation, every moment of transformation. This is the dawn that I was waiting for. The initial day, old and clean, where we emerge from night and silence and freely inhabit the substance of time. My friends, this is the dawn we have been waiting for. So I conclude with profound gratitude to our students who are the present and the purpose of our alliance. To our colleagues, your dedication has made this possible. Rory, where are you? Thank you for guiding us with your wisdom and determination. Sometimes determination is important. Also, my fellow rectors and presidents, you trust this vision when it was only a dream. Without your courage, none of this would exist. So, as Jean Monnet observed, there is no future for the people in Europe rather than union. And through ACE²-EU, we give substance to that union. So welcome to the future of European higher education. Welcome to ACE²-EU. Thank you.
Thank you very much for Professor Moutão for doing two things at the same time. One, creating a vision for what is to come, for where we're headed with our alliance. And two, for reminding us that the European Union we're living today cannot be taken for granted. Rather, it is an achievement and something that we need to nurture. And with that, I want to welcome our next speaker from the Bavarian Ministry of Science and Art, Mr. Dr. Tobias Haaf, who is the Ministerial Director and who I'm sure will be able to build onto what has previously been said. Welcome to the stage.
Rector Moutão, President Schober, esteemed presidents and rectors of our partner institutions, dear students, most important, and friends of European institutions of higher education. We heard it before. What a remarkable moment this is. 9 universities, 9 countries, one shared ambition. Today you are not gathering as pixels on a screen, but as people in a theater, a perfect image, I think, for what you are building together. Because your alliance is indeed a kind of stage where knowledge meets society, where theory transforms into practice, where the script is being written in real time by you. Let me start with a confession. Bavaria takes quiet pride in making lists. We rank our beers, our mountains, our universities. And when it comes to the European Universities Initiative, I'm pleased to report that Bavaria ranks in 3rd place nationally, with 8 institutions, including 4 universities of applied sciences. But numbers, as satisfying as they are, only tell part of the story. What truly matters is this. Bavaria is not only part of European higher education, Bavaria is actively shaping it. And Ingolstadt Technical University of Applied Sciences is writing one of the most compelling chapters. Why does this matter? In a federal system like ours, internationalization often happens by cooperating institutions. But with your alliance, Bavaria becomes part of something larger. A living laboratory where applied education goes beyond borders, where Praxisorientierung becomes a European principle, not just a Bavarian one. And truly, we need this, because the world is not waiting for us to catch up. Which brings me to the second aspect I want to address. And bear with me if I sound slightly more serious for a moment. We are meeting at a time when the European idea faces questions that seemed unthinkable a generation ago. Borders that were opened are being challenged. Partnerships that seemed permanent are being tested. And values we thought were self-evident, democracy, rule of law, solidarity, require constant upholding. In these times, universities can't be indifferent observers. You are, whether you like it or not, keepers of the European idea itself. Your alliance includes 9 institutions from 9 nations, among them Romania, North Macedonia, Lithuania, Latvia. Countries whose commitment to Europe has been hard-won. Countries for whom European integration is not an abstract policy debate, but a living reality, a choice shaping future generations. And let us not forget, Across this continent, 35 Ukrainian universities are now associated partners in European university alliances. They are not just observers, they are reminders, urgent reminders that the right to education, to mobility, to peaceful collaboration cannot be taken for granted. This alliance, therefore, is more than an academic project. It is an act of solidarity. It is a statement that bridges matter more than walls, that knowledge flows across borders even when other things cannot. Bavarian creates the conditions for alliances like yours to succeed. We invest in infrastructure, in digital technologies, in academic freedom that allows institutions like Ingolstadt Technical University of Applied Sciences to experiment, to collaborate, to take risks. The Free State of Bavaria has created outstanding conditions for science, research and industry in recent years. The high-tech agenda comprises an investment of around 5.5 billion euro in key technologies such as artificial intelligence, autonomous driving, quantum technologies, aerospace and clean tech. This investment in the brightest minds and leading research institutions will make our state fit for the future. Because we recognize that applied universities are very much a distinct and indispensable pillar of innovation. And perhaps most importantly, we trust you. We trust that the future of European higher education will not be designed in ministry or commissions, but in classrooms, in laboratories, in cultural festivals like the Kaleidoscope. The true measure of the alliance's success will not be found in rankings, reports, or even ministerial speeches. It will be found in the conversations that are happening in the corridors of this theater today, in the friendships formed between students from Kaunas and Ingolstadt, in the research partnerships forged between Gdansk and Santarin, in the moment when young people from North Macedonia realize that their voices matter in shaping Europe's future. That is what Bavaria supports. That is what Europe needs. And that is what makes meetings like ours so important. President Schober mentioned in his invitation that this alliance is more important than ever given the current situation. He's right. But let me add this. It is not only important because of the crisis. It is important despite the crisis, or rather in defiance of it. Because when others build walls, you build bridges. When others retreat into nationalism, you practice solidarity. When others speak of division, you demonstrate what connection looks like. And you do it not with great declarations, but with unglamorous, essential work of curriculum development, student exchanges, joint research projects, and yes, cultural festivals where Lithuanian folk songs meet Bavarian brass bands. Ladies and gentlemen, dear students, on behalf of the Bavarian State Ministry of Science and the Arts, I extend our warmest congratulations to Ingolstadt Technical Universities of Applied Sciences and to all 8 partner institutions. You have built something remarkable in a very short time. I assure you of our respect and our unwavering commitment to creating the conditions in which alliances like yours can thrive. Bavaria believes in Europe. We believe in the power of applied sciences to solve real problems. And we believe in the students in this room, the ones who will inherit the Europe we are building today. Thank you and good luck.
I welcome Vanessa Debiais-Sainton, who is a member of the cabinet of the Executive Vice President Roxana Mînzatu from the European Commission, who is the body, the foundation, the organization, and the vision behind the alliance that we're seeing coming to life here today. Welcome her, even though she can't hear us, but I think we should still give her a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. So it's my pleasure to address all of you this morning. I would like to congratulate you, the European University Alliance ACE²-EU, for joining and for your successful applications this year. It's not an easy application. The competition is very high. Why? Because it's not a European project. It's really a long-term transformative initiative that we expect for all of you, all the universities that are part of this European University Alliance, to really best prepare your graduates for the future and for the future jobs that we don't know what they will look like. So we really expect universities to join together, because today higher education and education in general is at a crossroad. Our continent faces a moment of change. We see geopolitical tensions shaking our security. We see demographic shifts changing the face of our societies. We see climate change threatening our way of life, speedy digital and technological development that are will transform our jobs, as I said before, and we see global competition challenging our economic strength. All these challenges are real, they are complex, they are urgent. So to the Executive Vice President Roxana Mînzatu, the answer is clear. If we want Europe to remain competitive, if we want Europe to remain united, we must invest in our people, in their education, in their talents, and in their skills. And this Commission has made education and skills development a top priority. And that is why in the first 100 days of its new mandate, we have proposed a strategy for union of skills. And universities have a central place in this strategy. Why? Because by bringing together education, research, and innovation, higher education institutions are bastions of critical thinking, academic freedom, and democratic resilience. Yet, with the fast transformation of our society, universities are at a crossroads to continue to stay fit for purpose and continue being actors for progress and for democracy. So that is why we see a huge role for European universities alliances like ACE²-EU. First, to defend and protect our European values. Our democracies are threats in a number of countries. And that is why the Commission has proposed to increase by 50% the Erasmus budget under the next multi-annual financial framework for the period 2028-2034, because it's very important for the Executive Vice President that Erasmus becomes a right, so that everybody during their lifetime can experience once the Erasmus experience through all its forms. Now we need to make higher education fit for purpose. As I said, the society is transforming. We see that AI is taking more and more tasks that young graduates were performing before. So it's very important for all the graduates, no matter what their discipline, their main discipline is, they need to become AI literate. They need to be able to think strategically, to be able to, when they graduate, to be able to really be ready to take up new tasks, more strategic tasks than graduates used to do before as an entry, as a first entry-level job in the labour market. We also need to secure European sovereignty, European technology, digitalization, AI, biotechnologies, defense and space. That is why STEM education has never been so much under the spotlight. That is why we are proposing new targets with at least 32% of higher education students enrolled in STEM. And it starts at schools, of course, with role models, with the way we teach them, to attract more graduates into STEM studies. And I know that some of your partners in Ministerial are very much engaged in that, and it's very much welcome. But it's not only that we need more STEM graduates, but and more higher education graduates in general, because more and more jobs will require this high level of advanced skills, but we need them to be better prepared. And we see a huge added value with the ACE²-EU and other university alliances to allow your students to step out from their comfort zone by studying in different countries, to experience working in multiple teams, to experience the possibility to work in multidisciplinary teams, because these are the competencies and the abilities that future jobs will require. And that is why under the next multi-annual financial framework, we will continue to support European university alliances. They will continue being anchored in the Erasmus+ program, but we are also looking at additional possibilities through Horizon, through the European Competence Fund, through those alliances who would wish to develop and to strengthen them, to bring them to the next level, for example, by supporting attractive research innovation ecosystem, and also by upskilling and reskilling the European workforce, for those who wish, of course. So another very important objective is also the need to grow our talent here in Europe, to retain our talent in Europe and to attract new talent. So that is why in 2026 we are going to launch Erasmus+ and scholarships to keep our talent in Europe for that. So we need vision, we need funding, but we need as well policy to support you. We have heard the need from a number of many actually European university alliances to develop a European degree to facilitate the development of job programs to make it easier. And this is what we are working on together with the member states who have adopted in the Council in the spring a very important Council resolution, Council recommendation, starting with the labour. So we launched 2 Erasmus+ calls by the end of this year. We invite your alliance, if you wish to apply to these calls. And we are as well, at the request as well to a number of alliances, exploring a European legal status. Again, to facilitate your work, to be able to operate more easily at European level by pulling resources, pulling investment, pulling data, being able to recruit joint staff together. So this is what we are exploring, not to, we don't want to impose a one-size-fits-all model. This will never work, but the idea is to provide a tool that is flexible enough to respond to the diverse needs of the diverse European universities alliances. So just to conclude, Europe needs alliances like you. Again, you are not a project, you are a long-term initiative, and we want to be able to support you on the long term. And the Commission is there to support you. So looking forward to the beautiful joint activities that you are going to put forward and to best prepare the graduates of tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Excuse me. Thank you so much for those words. And I think a lot has been said in these past 40 minutes, and a lot to take with us as we leave today. One of the things that Vanessa just mentioned was the need and the importance of multidisciplinarity. Now, multidisciplinarity is one of the perks of our alliance. And therefore, it is now my pleasure to introduce, or to welcome to the stage, better said, students from our Latvian partner university who will bring to the stage a beautiful performance. Welcome to them to the stage with a warm round of applause, please. wonderful, inspiring performance. We are, ladies and gentlemen, friends, students, stakeholders, and partners, behind schedule. Sorry about that, but that's sort of the nature of these things. What is coming next is a very important component of our event today. Why? Because so many of you are involved in this alliance, and so many of you have put a lot of work and dedication into the achievements that have already been reached this year. Now we want to take the next half hours to present to you very briefly the advancements that have been made in the work packages. And therefore, I would like to welcome to the stage Rudy, please, would you like to come up and give her applause.
Guten Morgen, Kollegen. Very kindly of you. Good morning, colleagues. It's a great pleasure for me to be able to talk to you here today. And I'm honoured to be asked to introduce the real backbone of this alliance, the leaders of our work plan, and for them to highlight to you what has been achieved by this alliance in its first year of operation. At this point, or before I introduce the stars of the show, I do want to particularly take this opportunity to thank our hosts. On behalf of all of the operational team and all of those within your partner universities, we want to thank President Schober, and particularly want to thank Daniel and his team, with particular shout outs to Ella, Camilla, Janine, and of course Tobias, for the absolutely wonderful hospitality, wonderful welcome, and the wonderful organisation that we've experienced here this week. So I think a big round of applause. As our leading president, João, earlier said, we are creating not just an alliance, we're actually creating a multi-campus, multinational European university. And to do that, we have to create educational opportunities, research opportunities, entrepreneurship activities, societal connectivity, promote culture, promote EU values, and indeed communicate all of this to all of our partners. And to do that, we have 8 work packages. And I'm delighted to be able to introduce the leader of our first work package, which is our education work package, our app factory, which produces our learning opportunities and ensures a common pedagogy across our lines. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Chelma to this.
Hello, presidents, good morning, authorities, stakeholders, especially hello and a big hug to our teachers, students, and especially to Professor Catherine Rogner, who made a great effort in putting everything together, 3 ABCs during this week. It's a pleasure, it has been a pleasure for me making to you a video in my university, Universidad Francisco de Vitoria. So with these learning opportunities, we are always combining online MOOCs, learning opportunities, we have face-to-face learning opportunities, and we take all the opportunities that surround us to make the adventure of learning bigger and bigger. So I made this video for you, and I'm going to present what we have done during this year, what are our goals, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much.
Dear colleagues, dear friends,
Looking back, I feel deeply proud of what we have achieved in less than 1 year. The courses, the exchanges, the experiences, and above all, the people who made them possible. The Art Factory has become a living laboratory where creativity, collaboration, and learning meet. A place where professors from across our alliance co-create courses, share knowledge, and experiment with new ways of teaching. Here, ideas cross borders and academic innovation becomes reality. And now, with the creation of our pedagogical school, we are taking another step forward, a space where our teachers can grow together, share the most innovative teaching methodologies, and build a true community of practice. Here, we explore active and experiential learning, rethink what it means to teach, and inspire one another to adapt our methods to the challenges of today's society. Through this training and the ACE course format that follows, our professors are called to co-create and innovate together, to design challenge-based learning experiences that turn education into transformation. As facilitators of experiential learning, they will guide the students who want to change their world, helping them to learn, to question, to imagine new possibilities, and to feel truly empowered to make that change happen. In this journey, we will be there from the very beginning, through meaningful onboarding, close mentoring, and experiences that keep the students always in the center. It has been a true privilege to see how the ACE Rockies team within the Art Factory has worked tirelessly to ensure that this process begins from day one, not only by creating a thoughtful onboarding for our students, but also by developing a program called ACE Experience, which offers close mentoring and guidance throughout their international journey, helping each other grow personally and academically through this transformative experience. And as they learn and work together in truly international classrooms, they move from multiculturality to interculturality, discovering not just new knowledge, but new ways of understanding one another. None of this would be possible without the commitment of all other work packages and colleagues across the Alliance. Together we have built the foundation of this shared academic reality. And together we will continue strengthening it through trust, creativity, and joy. To every member of the Art Factory and to every partner in this Alliance, thank you for your passion, your patience, and your courage to keep moving forward. Let's keep co-creating and inspiring, turning learning into an adventure that transforms not only our students, but also ourselves. Together, we grow stronger. Together, we make it real.
year we have created 32 joint learning opportunities. Okay, 32 are in the pipeline, great achievement. We have had 2 exploration missions. We have had some 1,000 mobilities to date, just in 1 year. Okay, so just to give that a statistic, and our targets over the lifetime of this work plan will be 7,000 mobilities and 120 learning opportunities, and a whole heap of other learning opportunities. So thank you, Jill, and you and your colleagues at Work Package 2. But all universities have multiple missions, and ours is no different. You've seen the education mission. We now want to introduce you to our research and innovation mission. And I'm delighted to introduce Sangeeta, who leads our ARIES incubator. Work Package.
Okay, I'm just noticing that I'm too short for the podium. Thank you, Rory. So, this is how it started. I'm going to come this way. Once upon a time, the researchers and entrepreneurship education leaders in our alliance came together in Philac earlier this year. They brainstormed, planned, decided on who is going to do what, who is going to be leading and planning the activities that Work Package 3 or the ARIES incubator has to offer. I'm going to walk you through the process of their efforts, where we are at right now and where we are heading. The Work Package 3 is the ARIES incubator. The incubator that is created for applied research, innovation and entrepreneurship support incubation. We have 2 sub-strands, Entrepreneurship Academy, led by Technical University of Ingolstadt, where we provide entrepreneurship innovation for students. Then we have 3 applied research innovation centers. We call them ARCs. We have 3 of them. Sustainable Technologies, led by Corinthia University of Applied Sciences. Health and Wellbeing ARC, which is led by Medical University of Gdansk. Then we have Digital Transformation, which is led by University of Gotterdammersch in North Macedonia. The purpose of the ARCs is to generate and incubate research innovation that are timely, important and impactful for the region as well as for the Europe. Then we have Central Coordination and Support Office. This is the heart of ARIES incubator. While the Entrepreneurship Academy and the ARCs are doing their functioning separately with their steering groups, Central Coordination Support Office meets monthly. We share updates, thoughts, while planning for the future of ARIES incubator. Central Coordination Support Office members are involved in creating platforms and activities that bridge the gap between entrepreneurship innovation and the applied research innovation. By the end of September this year, it is my pleasure to inform you we successfully established ARIES incubator governance team, Central Coordination and Support Office, and the 4 functioning sub-strands, the Entrepreneurship Academy and the 3 ARCs. They are already started building their first specialized activities. While Entrepreneurship Academy is working on getting traineeship, transnational traineeship program launched, applied research centers are planning their first knowledge creation team mission series. The first week of In the meantime, Student Coordination and Support Office is working on projects that build the support system for our key stakeholders, students and researchers. They are working on in task forces. For example, the Expert Database and Solution Services is one of the key activities. This is the platform that our stakeholders will have access not just for knowledge and resources within the Alliance, but also for external stakeholders connecting to the Alliance. Also, we are progressing on building capacity training programs for our early career researchers and PhD students. This program will help kickstart their journey in academia while mending their knowledge gaps. We are just starting to make the impact in the Alliance. We have many more opportunities to come. To all our stakeholders in the university ecosystem in our Alliance, from bachelor students to senior professors, and extending these opportunities to external stakeholders and to industry. I cannot take all the credits. I must say, all these achievements are truly a team effort. Hats off to our colleagues, Technical University of Ingolstadt, Medical University of Gdansk, University of Goce from Macedonia, and all the other partner institutions. We have many moments to celebrate. Nothing is too big or too small of an achievement to give an applaud to all the efforts that we are putting in. Every small step is an achievement, but our true achievement is the working team in the ACE incubator. We have over 41 staff members and in both academic and non-academic, actively working in the work package as steering group members in our substrats. Also, we have 8 early career researchers actively participating in planning and designing and giving feedback to our activities development. We are on a mission to create knowledge. Along the way, to build knowledge creation team workshops, building upon existing knowledge of our local and regional projects and outputs that we are on a mission to create this alliance and the research and development that is impactful and meaningful for not just for locally to each country involved, but also collectively for European Union. The knowledge creation team will be the starting point of research development and innovation incubation in the Alliance. We have faced many challenges, but together we will help and learn to grow beyond these challenges. In this annual Congress of our partners help us to understand, discuss the solutions and the support that we can mitigate these challenges together. Lastly, when you hear the name ACE Incubator, we would like you to remember like this. ACE Incubator is not just a work package in the ACE²-EU Alliance. It is the bridge between research innovation and entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Now, no university can function without connecting and engaging with society, nor indeed can it function without getting a better understanding of culture. And we give you the leader of our space centre, our work package that connects to our community and to society and promotes culture across our alliance, and probably I'd have to say one of the best dancers in Europe, João.
Dear all, I would like to share our story with This is not a story about empty vastness of the universe beyond the astronomical objects. This is a story about a space where cosmic ideas come to life. This is the story of the Space Center, a place to meet and collaborate. A story of ambition, where 9 European universities unite to create a space for students to connect. Explore diverse cultures and discover their own value. To see themselves as pieces of a colorful mosaic in a kaleidoscope. To see themselves in the European University Alliance. This is a space to meet and connect with friends, colleagues, stakeholders and everyone who cares about our values, social well-being, inclusion and multiculturalism, dignity, respect and gender equality. Here, we will organize events that inspire engagement and active participation. We will create new knowledge and learn to share it. We won't just lead, we will inspire change. Join us in bringing your ideas to life, building new international partnerships and immersing yourself in culture with impactful work in society. Space Center, the place where partnerships build future literacy.
That's how we started, and now that's our first achievement. It's the Kaleidoscope Culture Festival. Dear colleagues, dear organizational team, Camille, Janine, Christine, Asna, Veronica, please jump on stage. Workshops, 6 exhibitions, 15 performances, 24 activities, altogether 55 different kind of events, all cooperated. That's always rooted and actually coming from our understanding of culture. So all together we just put it together. That's it, how it works. But students, professors, our supporters, external stakeholders, they were all behind that. Thank you very much. We did it. Video after final remarks of João. Thank you. That's a video which is freshly made tonight.
So thank you, Yeva, and in particular thank you to all the colleagues involved in the Kaleidoscope Festival. A truly wonderful event, and certainly gave an inspiring insight to the cultures of our lands. Obviously, these are what I would call the mission-specific departments, faculties of our European University Alliance. But behind that, you have to have systems. And one of our systems is our eCampus, and it's led by our good colleague Sasha. But unfortunately, Sasha's had to head back early to North Macedonia. But Daniel has agreed to introduce and talk to you a little bit about our eCampus. Daniel.
Thank you very much, Rory. So, as we mentioned, as a strong alliance, we need a strong backbone, not only by connecting our cultures, but also by connecting our IT. And this is exactly what Sasha and his team is doing in the work package 5 in the eCampus. So they have been working really hard with his team to build an architecture for our digital platform, because this is the place where we put the learning opportunities. This is the place where we put all our digital information, our schedules, exchange information, and this was a really tough job. So Sasha and his team was really doing an amazing job, working really day and night on making it happen, and we made it happen. It's not only an architecture that we have on paper, but it's a system that is up and running, and this is really a great achievement. I think I will skip the details, I will just bring it to the point. Sasha and the team of North Macedonia really did an amazing job putting up this platform, and this is going to carry us forward as we go, and this will also be one center point for every future activity, because we are not only connecting our learning opportunities, we are connecting our cultures, but we are also connecting our systems that we need to make our University Alliance running. So Sasha and his team, really, I would like to help you with a great applause for his team.
Thank you, Daniel. That's very good. And thanks to Sasha. We call him Super Sasha. He's got a big responsibility. He's got a year left to come up with a super IT system that no one else has managed to create, but I'm quite sure he will. So we wish him best of luck. And it will do absolutely everything, so we're told. But the other support areas that are very important to us are obviously the international mobility experiences, and we have a work package dedicated to this, dedicated to ensuring that the mobility experience and indeed that the cultures of the EU and indeed the values of the EU, more importantly, are embedded into our programmes. And that's led by Gitana. I hope Gitana's here, great. And I don't know, I think Gitana might be doing a little bit of a duet with Karina. Are we? Yeah, we're doing a little bit of a duet, I think. No? No? Guess maybe? Okay. So, delighted to welcome Gitana and Karina. Gitana will give us a little overview of Work Package 6, and then I think Karina will talk to us a bit about our communications and media systems.
Dear guests, dear students, teachers, researchers, staff, and everyone, stakeholders, you are the main. We are creating future students, your employees, and we hope they will be better and better each day for you. So, what is Work Package 6? Work Package 6 is about mobilities, about EU values, about promotion, EU values, and of course about people, about future experience. A key achievement of this first year of our work package, of course, is the common system of mobilities, documentation, and exchanges. The first year results speak for themselves. We reached 1,000 mobilities. It's really it's physical mobilities. It means it's everyone who are in this room. So, behind numbers are people. So, many thanks to each institution, international managers. They are doing wonderful job. So many thanks. So mobilities represents more than exchanges. Mobilities is about culture, experience, and how we are feeling in our hosting institutions. We are discovering institutions, discovering cultures and languages. One of the activities is promotion campaign of mobilities. So I'm inviting Corina to present this activity. So, because we are facing some technical issues. I will explain something about this photo campaign. Start from 22 of October, and we try to stimulate our students to select some beautiful pictures and to send us this picture and to try to award them for this creativity moment. And we have also some winners, but we will announce the winners after this moment. So, because we are facing the technical issues, we cannot show you actually the pictures, but you can see it in the social media. And because we are talking now of social media, and I will go to working page 8. Okay. I'm here because I don't know, my life, my God sent me here. We are honored to be in front of you, and the fact that we are here today, happy, very happy, without things that can disturb us. Because we know that around us, we have a lot of issues, a lot of problems, different problems. We try to connect people. We try to connect nation. We try to connect students, staff, and so on. But how we can connect them? Of course, through communication. But you know, we have a very, very hard work, because sometimes the words are not enough. We need to do something else to cover the lack of information. We need to put something else, not only words, but also pictures, videos, and sometimes even small gesture. Let's see how was this year for us. It was a very hard year for the communication, believe me. So we need to change, upgrade, adapt all the time, because we have 9 universities from 9 countries, but in the same time, a lot of nations inside. More than 16 nations in our university, so believe us, it was very challenging. We start with the social media and we create Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's just the start. We will make also another channels if it's needed to do it. That depends only on our students to do, because they are our inspiration. And if they want to create another channels for them, we will do it, of course. We create also the website, a place where you can find everything about our alliance, of course. We can find news, you can find learning opportunities, you can find research proposal, and so on. Also, we have podcast series, and we put a lot of information in the podcast. In YouTube channel, you can find a lot of videos there. We also create a newsletter, and there you can find a lot of news, and also we have a student corner where our students can express and put their voice. We have virtual coffees that are events, monthly events, where students, staff, and other person from community can see, talk, and have a special discussion from different topics. We have also virtual town hall events with more than 422 people until now, but we will organize others, of course. We have idea box. Until now, we have 3 series, but we will launch more. And of course, a lot of materials, printed and digital materials, to help to promote our alliance. This is just the beginning for us. In the communication, we are honored because we can see behind the stage. This is something unique. It's not so usual to see behind the stage. And because of that, we can see a lot of things, like a lot of work, a lot of joy, a lot of stress, and all the time we need to reflect this emotion in our communication part. We need you to show to the world all that emotion, because it's important to show to the world that we are authentic, we are usual person, we are a person that have feelings, can make mistakes, and of course can grow step by step. So be with us, stay with us, and let us to show everything that you want to show. Okay? I want to know that communication department is here for you and will be for at least 4 years. Thank you.
I want to say in particular to our stakeholders, but before I say that, I want to say to our stakeholders, all our stakeholders, our students, our staff, our external stakeholders, we have a motto in ACE, and it is connect. We want you to connect with us. Learn. We want you to learn with us. Grow with us together. Because we are creating a community, we are creating a family, a way of life, a future that will equip our stakeholders with the ability and skills to meet the future challenges. The last thing I want to say today, 2 last things. One, I also want to thank our work practitioners, but I also particularly want to give a big shout out to all the institutional coordinators across the Alliance. They're doing a sterling job promoting the entire Alliance and organising everything at an institutional level. I think they deserve a massive round of applause. Our Vice Presidents for showing the commitment and courage and leadership to let us get on with this very ambitious plan. So thank you very much to the Vice Presidents and Presidents, Rectors, thank you. And without further ado, I want to thank obviously Sasha, who's not here, but I also want to invite Vanya to come to the stage. Because Vanya is the leader of our practice. Lady Vanya is a very important lady. She's the General Manager for the Alliance, and she keeps everything going. And I'm going to ask Vanya to come to the centre of the stage if I could, and I'm going to ask her to be joined by the other work practitioners. So we get the work practitioners to the centre of the stage. You don't know. And then if they do line up, they will line up. And just, I give to you, ladies and gentlemen, probably the best operational team on the planet. So, the ACE²-EU operational team.
For those very impressive presentations. First year, 1 year achievements. Now, you have dedicated a lot of time and a lot of resources into putting together those work packages and to advancing all the projects and activities within the Alliance. Now, before we head out for a coffee break, and a group photo. That's very important. Talk about communication. I want to highlight, and I want to invite those to the stage who will help me do that. I want to highlight some of the work that has been done this very week. Because as we heard, we weren't all here just to meet and greet and get to know each other. But there were very important activities. There was a governance structure that has been built. There were performances and workshops. And there have been applied blended challenges where students and staff and stakeholders worked together throughout the week to come up with ideas and solutions that are going to ameliorate, hopefully, the entire European Union, but certainly are a very important ground for our future work. So I'd like to welcome up to the stage, and this is kind of a black box to me because I don't know who's going to come up to the stage at this point, those who are going to present the results of the ABC challenges. And I think this works better if we give them a lot of applause too. So, hello everyone. The ABC Learning Program Sustainable Cities, Redesigning Public Spaces, THI, syllabus said, students will learn to redesign public spaces in real life.
When we applied for the program, it sounded exciting, right? Real action, real cities, real change. But soon we discovered that the line between real and allowed isn't always clear. What started as a field project became a journey through uncertainty, and through that we found our unexpected learning outcomes.
My name is Leonie.
I'm Felix.
And together with 36 students from 9 partner countries under 3 professor guidance, our task was to rethink a site next to Lechner Museum, surrounded by the university, a kindergarten and a park. We researched, we listened. People told us they liked the calmness, the nature, the shortcut to the Danube there. But they also called the place cold, sad, and abandoned.
Many even said it looks like someone did an exhibition there and just left everything behind. Still, they also saw potential. A cafe, a community hub, green zones, benches, a place to meet, study, and play. It could be a connector between the museum, the kindergarten, and the university, a space where life happens between the concrete buildings.
The program asked us to do something in real life. Some thought on paper, others with hands-on. We expected to move ideas, not holding a shovel, meaning that we were supposed to only move gravel, leaves, and so on. And why not? Of course, change is good. Getting your hands dirty is something fun, but the only thing is a small obstacle. It's private property. So some of us raised questions like, can we really go there? Or do we even have permission? And even when the answers didn't come, some of our colleagues went to dig, remake and adjust the zone with shovels, with axes and other tools. Even a graffiti-like sign, "Public space is a baby," was put on the wall of a building.
But others did not follow the lead, and we did what students do best. We questioned the system itself. We proposed a new plan or small revolution. Those who did not want to dig into the ground of private property, we dug into the rules. We built a plan, we presented it, we explained why it matters. But the system didn't change. Our proposal was politely listened to and quietly ignored. And that was the hardest part, not the failure itself, but the realization that even in a program about change, change is not always so easy.
Public space is a baby. It's fragile, messy, and needs constant care. And maybe education is the same. We can't teach transformation with old tools, axes and shovels. We can't ask for innovation inside fixed boundaries. Sometimes both spaces and and systems need to fall apart a little before something new can grow.
We learned that real-life learning needs a real-life responsibility. That sustainability starts with transparency. That it's okay to challenge what doesn't make sense, even if nothing changes right away. We learned that courage sometimes looks like questioning, not doing, and that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Because what matters is not what we built, but what we understood.
This paper promised us to teach us how to redesign public space. But in reality, it taught us how to redesign ourselves. To be ready for change, to challenge, to fail.
Because sometimes the biggest impact isn't a product or things in real life, it's a new way of thinking. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm delighted to stay on stage here today with my wonderful colleague Mia. My name is Stefan, and we worked on the category of smart and sustainable cities. We had the idea to maybe give a little kick to Ingolstadt and see how they can transform the city into a sustainable, transparent city of the future. So let us present our work.
So picture this. A park here in Ingolstadt. Every morning an old guy sits on a bench, same time, same newspaper. Across the path, a student rushes by, coffee in one hand and pen in another.
What a classic morning drama.
One day he calls out, start 5 minutes earlier and the bus is yours. Next day she does. She waves, he smiles, and somehow both start walking faster.
Then the joggers join him. Then the parents, and then suddenly the one guy who definitely didn't need to be running, but no one said it was a race, but everyone started trying just a little harder.
And that's what we call Ingolstadt energy. And that's exactly the spirit we built our idea around.
So in our project, we were 6 groups working on 5 different SDG topics. We had life, diversity, education, environment and economy.
But wait, Stefan, what is SDG again? Sounds like some secret government code?
No, not this time. But it stands for Sustainable Development Goals. Basically, the world's to-do list for a better future.
Ah, got it. Basically, the Avengers of sustainability. Each group had amazing ideas: green transport, fair trade, better education.
But there was a problem. Citizens don't see the progress, they can't really feel it. It's like playing a game but without a scoreboard. You don't know if you're winning.
So we asked ourselves, how do we make sustainability something people can actually see, feel and join in on?
Here's what we realized. People love a little kind of challenge. We compete basically about everything. Who wakes up first, who makes the better coffee, or even who takes the stairs instead of the elevator.
You definitely take the elevator.
Okay, yes, but only on Mondays, trust me on that. But the thing is, it's human nature. We love to see the progress and we love to play.
So we thought, what if that playful energy could move an entire city? What if sustainability wasn't a rulebook, but an adventure?
Imagine opening your phone one day and seeing your city come alive. Streets buzzing with small missions, people joining in, neighborhoods lighting up with achievements.
Suddenly, it's not just being sustainable, it's being part of something even bigger.
It's that little spark, that friendly drive to just do a little better. And that is where our idea was born.
So, meet our baby, the Ingolstadt SDG app.
Think of it as basically the city's fitness tracker, but instead of tracking your steps, your calories, it tracks Ingolstadt's sustainability.
So right now, every city has its own sustainability indicators, but there's already a benchmark, the SDG portal, where cities across Europe can compare their progress.
Exactly, so the data basically already exists, but it's always hidden in reports and dashboards. We just want to make it visible, want to make it interactive and fun.
So the app shows all the indicators: energy, recycling, education, green spaces, color-coded, green, yellow and red. And because we like interaction, you can donate, join projects or take challenges like Bike Week or No Plastic Friday.
And it's smart. It turns your everyday choices into visible impact. You can actually see how your small actions slowly start to add up to something bigger.
And when Ingolstadt reaches a collective goal, like saving energy or completing community challenges, boom, the city celebrates with rewards, events, discounts, or surprises that make everyone feel part of it.
It's sustainability, but with a dopamine hit.
And it's proof that saving the planet can actually be fun.
So here's the thing. Smart cities nowadays aren't about sensors and data only. They're about people. People who actually care just enough to move a little bit.
So this app gives every citizen a reason to do that, to compete, to collaborate, and to celebrate progress.
A city where sustainability isn't hidden in reports, but alive on everyone's phones.
Because when citizens move, the city moves. And when the city moves, the future follows.
So let's compete.
For a better Ingolstadt.
How many beers do you drink a week?
100.
Oh, same here. But what if I told you that actually every beer we drink will help our region?
Help our region by drinking beer?
Yes, exactly. Because behind every glass of beer, there is a story of hops. And in Moutão.
Oh, wait. Do you mean the largest continuous hop cultivation area in the world?
Yes, their hops aren't just plants. They are part of our culture, our landscape, and our economy. But right now, hop cultivation is facing higher sustainability challenges, water scarcity, energy use, and environmental stress.
That's why our goal is clear. By 2040, Halertown should produce climate neutral hops, which should be sustainable from the cultivation to the final product.
We attended ACE2 Applied Blended Challenge program called Sustainable Cities, Environmental, Economic, and Social Challenges. And we are here today to share our ideas for more sustainable hop cultivation. First of all, efficient resource management is crucial, and we suggest the following main 2 steps.
Using renewable energy, we need to transform the fossil fuel machinery into electric or biofuel power equipment. This equipment is used for harvesting, processing, but also powering local facilities. Also, reusing biomass will not only close the energy loop, but will also provide a solution on how to benefit of hop remains.
We also want to build water storage and collection systems to capture excess rainfall during wet seasons and reuse the water during dry periods, supporting soil stability and irrigation. Technology can also be used for smarter and more sustainable resource management.
We also propose using a Greek app called AgroApps, which is an AI-based agricultural assistant that provides 360 management of whole cultivation processes.
Here you can see examples how the application looks like and what it can tell you.
This app uses remote sensors and also cameras to collect data from various sources. This helps farmers take real-time decisions. So the data collected is soil erosion, irrigation, fertilization, plant maturity, and also heat and solar exposure.
But you have to remember that sustainability is not only about environment, it's also about people, us. To ensure that the hop tradition continues, we must make the region attractive for employees, researchers, and visitors. Our plan for this includes investments for working conditions and culture.
First, we want to build local accommodations near the workplaces and improve public transport routes connecting farms to towns.
In addition, it's important to provide modern equipment, fair wages, and medical support.
Secondly, innovations through regional research programs have to be supported because sensible decision-making is not possible without reliable information.
Last but not least, we want to invest in culture. By establishing shops selling local products made from home remains, as well as developing events, workshops, and tourism routes, the hop culture can be kept alive and attract visitors. And this also positively contributes to revenue.
Hop Fest!
So, our concept combines innovation, ecology, and culture.
By combining smart resources management, renewable energy, AI-driven farming, and social engagement, Harrison can become a model region for climate-neutral agriculture, where tradition meets technology.
So yes, you can actually make good by drinking beer, because every sustainable hop grown in Hallertau brings us one step closer to a greener, better future.
Should you ever have a problem, just put something like 20 to 60 students, one professor who is very dedicated into one room from one of our partner universities, and you will have excellent outcomes in no time whatsoever. Thank you so much for those wonderful presentations and for the achievements that you have achieved within such a short amount of time. Now, before we go on our coffee break, and I know I'm saying this for the second time already, we do have one final round of very brief presentations, and I do think they're very important. So I do urge you and invite you to sort of find that last energy to concentrate once more so that we can learn about our stakeholder board testimonials. I now welcome to the stage the representatives of our staff, student, and external board members. Please come to the stage.
I'm going to be really brief, I promise. My name is and I'm one of the members and one of the chairs from our staff advisory board. And I'm really happy and thankful to be here today. We've met the first time as staff advisory board members on Wednesday this week, and our actual purpose essentially is to be providing feedback. Feedback on an institutional level, but also on a general level for advising strategic priorities and promoting staff-centered collaboration, fostering this, and being helpful for staff to give staff mobility, also staff development and pedagogical innovation. Our members are about 18 ones. We're still forming our first composition, which will be set up within the next few days. We started with about 20 people from our 9 joint universities. And we decided on a co-chair structure. So as hosts from THI, my colleague Annette, Lisi and I, we're the co-chairs for now. And our vice chairs are our colleagues Daniela and Olga from our university partner from Northern Macedonia. And we're going to have our next stakeholder meeting next year in March there. And then they're going to be the hosts and our chairs. We have this vision of a biannual rotation. So we think this is something that is really important, not only to be part of this vision that is really important and essential for this whole being an alliance, but also to really live this collaboration. In our first meeting, the main outcomes were the agreeing upon the terms of references, and especially also the information inflow, which will be defined and generally managed by Vanya, our general manager and leader of Work Package 1. We're really looking forward, and I'm concluding with this, on being part of this, giving feedback, advising according to our competences, and being part of this great vision, which is really important for us to grow together as Europe. Thank you very much.
Now, there has been a minor change in the scenery, and you will see in a second what I'm talking about. Because instead of the external stakeholder board being represented by Antonius Eftenui, I welcome to the stage Dr. Marion Kühn, who visibly looks very different, to represent the perspective from the external stakeholders.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marion Kühn, and I came from the Economic Development Agency in Pfaffenhofen and took the role of chair for the External Stakeholder Board for this year. I will briefly report on the results of our first meeting on Wednesday. And I can say we external stakeholders are very happy to support the Alliance and are very interested in lively exchange and regular information about the Alliance. We can divide the stakeholders in 3 groups. We have stakeholders from the field of culture and social engagement, and they currently see their role as a mediator between society and the Alliance. The second group is the group of stakeholders from the field of business, industry and economic development, and they are interested in well-trained students, further experts and international exchange. And the third group are stakeholders from the field of government and administration, and they are interested in attracting students to their universities. All stakeholders are interested in close networking with academia and see great advantage in the alliance and the international cooperation. The stakeholders also discuss the nature of the cooperation and they plan to exchange ideas within the 3 groups and establish contacts via teams and email distribution lists. They are also excited about the platforms that will be created as part of the project. And the stakeholders want to be informed, want to support the project, so keep us informed and we wish you good luck with the Alliance. Thank you.
And last, but certainly not least, I welcome the representatives of our Student Advisory Board. I'm only seeing two. Okay, did everyone make it? So then, in that case, I welcome Sonia Moutão, sorry for mispronouncing probably your last name, and João Carvalho to the stage.
There's a lot to say, but little time, so we'll keep things brief. But first of all, it's an honor and pleasure to be representing the Student Advisory Board, and by extension, the students of every single university in this alliance. While we just met on Wednesday ourselves and we were not fully formed also, we still have a lot of work to continue doing here. We aim to work alongside the governing and managing bodies, not just as consultants, but as true stakeholders of this alliance. We wish to grow with you, to collaborate together, and to build a legacy for the students' role in this alliance, and to ensure the function, organization, and best practices for years to come. This week, we spent our time listening to and conversing with our peers, and the most prevalent needs of the students are quality communication, networking, and education. These conversations between us, the board, the students, and the governing and managing bodies should not end here. What we've discussed here at this annual Congress is not the only time that it matters. We will establish official communication channel for the Student Advisory Board to provide updates and discuss strategies on how we can reach the students of each of our universities.
And as Sonia said, we will choose to be the active voice of the students. But we will also choose to act as an ambassador in our own towns, in our own universities, to show through our own lives what we saw, we learned, we experienced in here. So the newcomers, the ones that will follow, can be prepared, well prepared than us for sure, but can be prepared for embracing this opportunity. And without taking much of your time, let me address my last words for the students, for the students. So on your behalf, in our behalf, let us show our gratitude to be here. Let us show our gratitude to the rectors and the presidents who are shaping the future of the Alliance. Let us show the gratitude of the staff, well, the role is with joy and always helpful. Let us enjoy and express our gratitude to the extraordinary professors that teaches in lectures that were also extraordinary. But also, let us show us gratitude for the students, for us, because we work a lot during this week. We present really good opportunities for the city, and I think next year will be better, doing the same with new ideas. So, thank you all.
And we all work tirelessly with our respective universities and the Alliance at large to develop visibility and dissemination strategies to bring all of the opportunities that ACE²-EU creates to light. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having made it this far. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for carefully listening to everything that has been said. And thank you all for making this alliance work. This alliance exists because of you. And now, before we start our well-deserved break, I invite you to go outside and turn to your right. You will find a staircase there, and I kindly ask you to assemble around that staircase because that is where we'll take our group photo. We will take a 20-minute break, and we will be back here by 11:25. And please be on time because we will have yet another wonderful student performance waiting for us, or awaiting us, right after the break. So please be on time, and until then, enjoy your coffee.
To play a Spanish song. We didn't prepare this, but I still think you're gonna enjoy it. Number 3. Hay pistas de repetirse me disparan, todo el reloj que me separan y no me encuentro bien en la cama. Amapolas son los suspiros de tus escamas, que son los tiros que dan al alma. Si quieres verme estoy en las ramas. Fíjate un objetivo distinto, que soy como un vino tinto, y si me tomas en frío engaño, y con los años me hago más listo. Cariño, tómame calentito a tu ritmo, que soy como un vino añejo. Desde el tiempo me estoy buscando y no me encuentro ni en el espejo, porque ya hay horas en este mar que tú ves en calma. Tú eres el pez que muerde mi cola, yo soy el pájaro y tú la llama. Si estamos a solas, Dios nos controlas, yo nunca miento por la mañana, anda todo con la última hora. Yo no soy malo, aunque me esconda entre la maleza, a veces voy un poco del palo. Tú eres mi puzzle y yo soy un piedra, pero tu cuerpo es un escándalo. Hay un demonio que me dice siempre tómalo, y un angelito que me dice que te reza. ¿A quién le hago caso de los dos? Fíjate un objetivo distinto, que soy como un vino tinto, y si me tomas en frío engaño, y con los años me hago más listo. Cariño, tómame calentito a tu ritmo, que soy como un vino añejo. Hace ya tiempo me ando buscando y no me encuentro ni en el espejo. Recapacita, no vayamos a perder la cabeza, porque esta es nuestra primera cita, y yo ya llevo unas 10 cervezas. No sé si me incitas o me incito yo por naturaleza. Niña, lo que se da no se quita, y lo que te quitas ahí se queda morena. Fíjate un objetivo distinto, que soy como un vino tinto, y si tomas en frío engaño, y con los años me hago más listo. Cariño, tómame calentito a tu ritmo, que soy como un vino añejo. Hace ya tiempo me ando buscando y no me encuentro ni en el espejo. Fíjate un objetivo, dame un sentido. Fíjate un objetivo distinto, que soy como un vino tinto, y si me tomas en frío engaño, y con los años me hago más listo. Cariño, tómame calentito a tu ritmo, que soy como un vino añejo. Hace ya tiempo me ando buscando y no me encuentro ni en el espejo. This is an improvisation. We literally knew the songs we were going to play this morning. But lucky me, we are not only going to play uncommon Spanish songs, we're going to play a worldwide Spanish song that starts slowly. Sabes que ya llevo un rato mirándote, tengo que bailar contigo hoy. Vi que tu mirada ya estaba llamándome, muéstrame el camino de hoy. Mira, tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal, me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Estoy tomando sin ningún apuro. Ya me va gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Estoy tomando sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Quiero despertar esos despacito, quiero las paredes de tu laberinto, dentro de tu mundo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo, que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar pensándolo, llevo tiempo intentándolo, mami se está dándolo. Sabes que tu corazón conmigo te hace bamba, sabes que esa olla está buscando de mi bamba. Ponle mi boca para ver cómo te sale, pero quiero que todo tu amor a ti te cale. Yo no tengo prisa, no me queda nada de grande, empecemos lento, después adelante, pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Cuando tú me besas, toda esa despierta, creo que eres malicia con delicadeza, pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, déjame mirarlo aquí desde la tierra. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito, deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudar con besos despacito, firmo la pared de tu laberinto, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo, que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito, hacerlo en una playa en Puerto Rico, hasta que las olas griten ay bendito, para que mis hijos se queden contigo. Pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Te enseñas a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Pasito a pasito, suave suavecito, nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Hasta provocar tus gritos. Despacito.
Thank you for that great performance with kind regards from Latin America brought to us in Ingolstadt by students from our Spanish partner university. Talk about intercultural communication. As we are headed into the final hour of our gathering today, I would like to now sort of come back to a more, well, we just vocalized or heard vocalization. I want to come back to verbalization, communication. And we have presenters right here. We have now prepared for you a brief panel discussion because this alliance is all about mutual learning, it's about shared visions, it's about the future of European higher education. And as such, we have composed a very interesting, very unique panel. And I would like to now welcome our panelists to come to the stage. I'm going to call them one by one up to the stage and introduce them while I do so. As our first panelist, I would like to invite to the stage Professor Dr. Excuse me for probably mispronouncing your name, Luminata Dogeta Propastu. A large fan base. She is the rector of the Constantine Brâncuși University of Tartu in Romania. And she has over 30 years of working experiences in university. Her many positions included those of Dean and Vice Dean of the Faculty of Engineering. She has contributed decisively to the development of the teaching and research infrastructure. She has been involved with many research projects with a focus on the energy industry, which I'm not going to be able to mention all, but I can assure you they are many, and they are very impressive. I am, however, going to highlight the most recent and the most important research award Mînzatu has won. In 2024, she won the Europolytechnicus Grand Trophy for a patented invention of a construction brick manufacturing process using industrial waste. Talk about using technology for sustainability. Lastly, Mînzatu is a PhD supervisor in the field of energy engineering at the Doctoral School of Energy Engineering of the National University of Science and Technology, Polytechnic in Bucharest. Thank you very much and welcome to the stage.
Thank you for your invitation. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be here and I talk in front of you. The most important thing about me already was done. I am a rector. For me, it's simple. I am professor in engineering faculty to Constantin University. I love my job. I love my students. I have here a lot of students from Constantin University, and I hope to talk in next minutes about our future, our accomplish, and about to our mission and vision for our alliance and for our future for professor and also at the same time for students. Thank you for your invitation.
Together with Mînzatu on the stage will be, my excuses, Kintaras Stepovaničius, who is currently the director of the Corman Consultancy Group for CEE+, a leading UK consultancy in the field of internationalization of higher education. Welcome to the stage. Tobias is not only the director of Corman Consultancy Group for CEE+, where he focuses on the development of strategic partnerships between universities from the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Australia, and Canada, with their counterparts in Central Eastern Europe, the Ukraine, the Caucasus, and Central Asia. He, prior to joining CCG, has also a long-standing experience of working in the public sector. He was the Minister of Education and Science of the Republic of Lithuania between 2008 and 2012, and a member of the Lithuanian Parliament from 2000 to 2020. In his position as a minister, he launched and implemented higher education reforms by introducing voucher-based funding for students and new management systems of universities. He initiated a number of university fusions and was pursuing systemic internationalization of higher education in Lithuania. Gintaras was involved in supporting education reforms in other countries as well. They include Azerbaijan, Ukraine, and Albania. Thank you for being with us today. We have already heard that our University Alliance is but one of many, and therefore I am very pleased and very honored to welcome two guests from different university alliances who are going to share some of their experiences and perspectives with us today. I'll start by introducing Dr. Ville Le Pen, who is the Institutional Manager of the European Alliance of Global Health, UGLO, at the Ludwig Maximilians University of Munich, just in our south of Ingolstadt. Welcome to the stage, Ville. Ville was born in Tampere, Finland. He holds degrees in classical philology from the University of Turku and a PhD in historical and Indo-European linguistics from the LMU in Munich. He has been a researcher, a teacher, and a lecturer for several years. From 2019 to 2023, he was the academic manager at the Hochschule Fresenius, a private university of applied sciences in Munich. Since 2023, he is the institutional manager for the European University Alliance of Global Health at LMU Munich. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Roddy.
And lastly, I would like to welcome and invite to the stage Dr. David Schakade, who is the ELISA project manager in the Strategic Project Department at the Friedrich Alexander University in Nuremberg. Welcome to the stage. David studied political science, economics, and philosophy at Friedrich Alexander University in Erlangen, at Sciences Po in Rennes in France, and at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, in the United States. He was a doctoral fellow of the Research Training Group Present and Tacit Knowledge of the German Research Foundation, the DFG, and a research associate at the Institute of Political Science at FAU. In his PhD, he discussed the political philosophy of Alexandre Koyev, a French philosopher and a bureaucrat of early European integration. His dissertation was published by the Campus publisher in Frankfurt and New York. Since 2021, David has been the ELISA project manager in the Strategic Projects Department at FAU, with a particular focus on international research relations and innovation strategy. In addition, he coordinated the Horizon 2020 project ELISA Core at FAU and was also involved in ELISA Phase 1. Now we hear there's a lot of alliance experience in the room because they're already in the second funding phase. Now, he is the project manager for ELISA Phase 2 at FAU, and in addition responsible for the DAAD project ELISA Intensify, which we might hear a bit more about in a minute. Those are your panelists. Welcome to the stage, and thank you all for being here.
So thank you also for the kind introduction.
Now I would like to start this panel discussion with the first question to you, Taras. You said, or you work a lot with at the higher education institutions in the UK and the US. In your work, you know that the top 4 educational destinations currently are the US, the UK, Australia, and Canada. Yet, they are facing significant, albeit different challenges and may become less attractive for international students. Is it just me or is it's a bit, yeah. Wasn't like that a minute ago. If it gets too bad, you let me know and then we'll need to find someone who can fix this. No, I don't think it's the distance. My guess is that it's not the mics. There you go. Now, as other education destinations may become less interesting for students, this could be an opportunity for European universities, per se, to become more attractive for international students. Could you tell us why, in your opinion, it is so important for the European universities to become international education destinations?
Good. I hope everyone can hear me. I hope you're still bearing with us. Another half an hour. Please try to stay with us. We're happy to be here, and of course, my inspiration and my contribution into this conversation was around to allow you, after cooking and boiling throughout the whole week here within the Alliance members, to take a look from a little bit outside and to understand what's going on in the world and where does particularly each of your university and also the Alliance as such may fit, taking into account that the higher education, as we know, the world is burning, so to say, but higher education is experiencing enormous transformations now, and the globalization is still highly affecting students' mobility. Millions, up to 8 million students each year in the world are seeking their landing safe havens at some university in the world. And up until recently, these millions and millions of young talented people have been more or less thinking about these top 4 markets where about 40% of these 8 million were choosing Canada, Australia, UK and United States. Each of these top destinations, due to the migration limitations, not to mention political reasons, capping for number for foreign students being introduced, particularly in Canada and Australia, these destinations are shifting to other countries, to other regions. And I think, to be fair, Europe deserves to be one of these destinations. But my question is Europe ready? Are European universities ready for this challenge? At the moment, you would see that the champion is Southeast Asia, where most of these alternative routes are going. But also, I must say, Germany, Italy, Ireland are doing extremely well in the European Union context, hunting and getting these talents. And I think if I would ask international offices at each of your university, you would recognize that this year, or even last year, there were many more inquiries or even applications compared to the previous years. And that's exactly the reason, because the international choices have not become so evident. And it means that Europe should think, and European universities should think how they can become a decent alternative, good shot. And I think I don't have to reach here to tell that Europe wants to become more competitive. Alliances, 60 plus alliances in Europe have been created to make Europe and the universities' innovation advance faster, and we are lagging behind. So the being better ready for receiving the talents is the key issue. And I think I would say movie Hunt for Talents has started. Season 2, Chance for Europe. And there are 3, I think, major aspects. I will sum up my answer today, which can help universities and also through the alliances to advance and be better. 1, evaluate what is your portfolio of English programs, how good they are, how they correspond to the labor market, and that's one thing. Second, you have to be ready institutionally. Some of the alliance members are doing a great job. Look at the Ingolstadt here, you have 1/3 of international students. But if you are talking today about talented students, you can get even better quality, higher, better motivated students, because their choices have been ruined due to the turmoil in the big 4 countries. And then another reason is, I think, not just only offer warm welcome within the institution, good quality English language curriculum, but then we show and demonstrate that through university studies, they can also advance to their career pathways. Meaning, employment opportunities in the European Union, but also in the cities where the universities or regions where the universities operate. I would suggest think about it and maybe pick the chance, which is now to open your own door for the foreign talents in Europe.
Thank you very much for that elaborated answer. And I want to sort of forward that question onto you, Dominika. You have been decisively involved in advancing, developing the curriculum, but also the research institutions, infrastructure, at your university. Can you tell us a bit more about how you went about that, and where do you see Gintaro's answer sort of fit into the strategy that you are following?
European Alliances University was the most important initiative. I think that's one of the most important initiatives of European Commissions. And that's why we see over than more 500 universities in this alliance, in 65 European alliances on Europe, and the number will increase, I hope. And for our university is very important, these European alliances, and I think only two directions. One direction is in terms of research activities, because through this alliance we can realize a common ecosystem, research ecosystem, where we can put together our infrastructure, where we can share our resources in terms of human resources, in terms of knowledge, in terms of competencies, in terms of logistics in our labs, but also we must be prepared, we must be ready in order to apply for other project funding. We must be ready for competition, because the competition is very strong now in Europe, especially to Horizon. And in order to apply under Horizon competition, we must have the strong team. And this our alliance is a good opportunity to us in order to build the strong team for other competition, for research project competition. On the other hand, in terms of research activities, in our alliance, maybe in other alliances the same situation, but in other alliance, we try to find a solution. We try to find the response also to local challenges, to local issues, to local problems, but also to regional or European problem. And we can discuss here about the security, not only in terms of intelligence security, but we can discuss about food security. You can discuss about energy security. We can discuss also about circular economy, preservation of natural resources, health, and well-being, or other. We must have the strong team in order to make next step in the future. In terms of curricula, the second one part of our alliance, in terms of curricula, we have also in our mind the teacher and the students in the same time, because we prepare and we are ready to deliver for the teacher the new methodology, the new pedagogical methodology, the newest learning methodology for our teacher. And after that, we are ready to deliver to the students the new courses, the new methodology in order to transfer the best practice to them. On the other hand, we want to integrate it and we focus on that, we integrate in our curricula and of course, the knowledge, the competences, but also we want to integrate into that the European values, because we want to develop not only Romanian citizens or German citizens or Latvian citizens and so on. We must prepare our students, our young people, to be a strong European citizen, and we want to transfer them European values. And not least, not the last, we want to develop the common learning opportunities also for your student, also for our teacher. And you already know about that, because there are a lot of things that were accomplished was presented before.
Thank you very much. And now for me, just one very brief follow-up question with maybe a one-sentence answer to that. Alongside all of the things that you just said, where you see a lot of potential, where do you see the biggest potential of the European Universities Initiative, especially for your university?
Good question. Good and complex question. For my university, the president of my university is in alliance, has a huge impact of my university. Why? In terms of visibility, in terms of prestige, in terms of trust of external stakeholders in us, this alliance has a huge impact for us. We already prepared and already win another project, Erasmus project, with 4 partners from this alliance. We talk about Erasmus Key Action 2 project with Lithuania, with Portugal, and with another country, Corina, with Portugal, and Macedonia, not Macedonia. With 4 partners, we have another project in implementation as part of this goal of this alliance. We have now another 2 research projects in preparation, in progress, under Horizon. Why? Because we are part of European Alliance. And that's why we have the number of students is increasing, and we have in this year the best admission process from the last 10 years. Wow. It's amazing for my
that's great. Thank you so much. And if I understand your work, David, correctly, you have quite some experience as well with making the European Alliance Initiative work in other projects as well. Maybe you can share a bit about that experience as well. I want to ask a different question first, because in your work, you're focused on international research relations and innovation strategies at the same time. So can you tell us a bit more about the ELISA Alliance, which has the motto of building bridges and bridging boundaries? Can you tell us a bit more about how you build bridges with very culturally diverse consortium partners coming from Hungary, Turkey, Italy, Spain, Romania, France, and Switzerland?
Okay, that's a pleasure. We're an alliance called ELISA, so it stands for European Engineering, Learning, Innovation and Science Alliance. We have 10 partner institutions. We also have an associate partner from Kiev, and also 2 other associate partners just in the process of joining. And we have a huge variety of institutions. So we have PSL in Paris, a very prestigious institution. Last week they received a Nobel Prize for Economics. One of their researchers is the Collège de France. Then we have strong innovation leaders like my home institutions, FAU. Then we have small elite institutions like SNS and SA in Pisa, or École des Ponts in France. And then we have large technical universities and also a University of Applied Sciences in Zurich and Mînzatu. And what I found was a period of time was in the first phase, you have to get to know the partners. Some of them collaborated already, but it was somehow the phase where you got to know each other and found also out what the particular strengths of each partner. And what we did in the second phase, and the basis for our collaboration, the base for building our bridges is, I would say, the grant agreement. And when this is very well thought through, this can be very successful, that we put each institution with the driver's seat of a particular work package, and in the best case, it's a work package where this partner is particularly strong. So then you have really an effect that institutions can learn from each other. To give an example, in Spain there was a national initiative by the Spanish government in 2007, and they've built up over the coming years, they've built up research managers' offices at each institution. And their aim was to increase the number of European projects from 7 to 8%. But this was so successful that now I think they're number 3 in Europe and leading most European projects. So this is a very strong competence that they have. Just to give you an illustration of what I mean. So we're really trying to find each partner's strengths. So we are in innovation, and others are in other areas.
Thank you very much. So if I understand you correctly, it's a combination of determining or identifying the strengths, particular strengths of every partner, and then sort of bringing that into your governance structure, so to say.
Yes, exactly. So we also have established a new governance structure. We have a hub scope structure, so we established an ELISA central office and ELISA local offices. And this was also an improvement over the first phase where we had a single one package structure. And I think you will experience probably different challenges, but some might be similar in the coming years. And there's a lot to be learned and a lot to be improved from the beginning.
Yeah, and maybe Vile can tell us a bit more about that, because you two are in a managing position in the European University Alliance in the second funding period and have experience in navigating multinational projects. You say that high-quality governance structures are of particular importance for the management of such a large project. Could you tell us a bit more about that? And why, in your opinion, it is so important?
Gladly. Thank you. That's a good question and an important aspect. Now, earlier today, persons on stage told us lots about the mission, about the goals of the European Universities Initiative, and this is a very ambitious initiative, and the strategic guidance and development of those of the initiative has to be in good hands. We have to have good processes to support and to help us achieve our goals. And also, what is important is that the university alliances are supposed to become a permanent phenomenon in Europe. European higher education, and that's to achieve that it's necessary to have sustainable long-term structures in place, also to secure the commitment of all partner universities in that particular alliance. In case of UPRO, we have a secretariat. Some university alliances already have a central office in Brussels. Is that your case? Actually. Okay. So, UPRO does not have that yet, neither in Brussels, but nor in Bavaria. But still, we have an independent secretariat working and coordinating the operative side, also supporting the actual governance structures. In terms of governance, 2023 we introduced a rotating presidency, which means that each partner takes turns in leading the alliance, basically. So in our case, the coordinator has a much smaller role than perhaps in other university alliances, because the coordinator acts as a liaison between the alliance and the European Commission, but does not guide the strategic development. So basically all parties are equal in that regard. This has worked well for us. Every alliance, of course, has to find their own way, their own solution to achieve the set goals.
Thank you. I would, excuse me, also follow up with a very brief question, sort of tapping into what some of our students earlier said, that being a failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the path. So could you maybe just give us one brief example of particular challenges that you had with the establishment of your governance structure?
Yeah, of course. A good example is the integration of new partners into the alliance. So in our case, we had 5 partners in the first project phase until 2022, and in 2023 we introduced 4 new partners into the alliance. Again, they were immediately integrated into this rotating presidency structure, and where students, by the way, also vote in the governance roles. So that helped us to integrate those new partners and give them a good start on an equal basis with the older partners. That was a challenge, but I think we managed it quite well in the end.
And since we're talking about challenges and experiences, David, can you also tell us one brief challenge that you have overcome in ELISA?
Well, where shall I start? Yeah, we have plenty of challenges. One was, for example, identifying those areas where we can deliver an added European value. So every partner institution is delivering something, for example, in the area of entrepreneurship, education, entrepreneurship programs, entrepreneurship education. So we were testing something. We were convinced that every partner had a startup that was looking for funding between 500,000 euro and 1.5 million, so a seed or a Series A funding. Then we invited them to our incubators in Zollhof in Nuremberg, and we didn't know how investors would react, but the event was a huge success. We invited many investors. It was a fantastic event with 15 European startups and many investors, very interesting event. And I think taking a certain risk and then seeing, I would say it's like an experiment. We don't know what a European University Alliance means in the beginning. Then we can think about what might work. Many things sound great on paper, but then you actually have to go and try it out, what works in your alliance. We also had other things that sound so great on paper. For example, a networking platform for researchers. But how do you get those researchers registered and actually use this platform? I would say, try out, be creative, and test your activities, and then implement the feedback and improve in the next iteration.
Thank you so much for that. Now you mentioned values, and Gintaras, you're a big promoter of promoting higher education in Europe, and you, Lumita, you also said we need to add values, European values, into our educational systems, into our curriculum. Would you both, maybe very briefly, sort of elaborate on the potential a bit more of the European Alliance Initiative, in spite of many challenges, for sort of advancing higher education in Europe, and alongside with that also values, European values?
Yes, right. We discussed about European values, and also we discussed about diversity in our lives, because diversity, democracy, culture, multiculturality is some examples of European values. I think that this diversity is in the same time a challenge, a huge challenge, but in the same time I think that this diversity, it is an engine of our progress. Why? Because in our alliance there are 9 universities with different administrative structure, with different culture of academic issues, with different approach of the process in on university, with different system of communication, and of course with a huge linguistic barrier between us. But while this could be an engine of our progress, because we must be more creative, more innovative, in order to pass all of that, in order to put together and in order to put together our resources, and in order to analyze these differences between our university. And that's why I think that the European values is more important for us, and one value is the diversity, but for us is in the same time challenge, but opportunity.
Look, just a quick observation. I think it's a matter of ambition. The question is what ambition is for each of the alliance and how far we can go in terms of 4, 8 years or longer. I have no doubt that each of the alliance members will be growing, because being a member of the alliance, and it's essentially the key. It's a minimum standard which will allow to pick up for the weaker maybe and move faster with the others together. That's absolutely like an axioma to me, and I think many understand. But to me, important is from a European, from a wider perspective, where is the ambition and how measurable is the ambition? And I would focus on the impact. What impact through the alliances, wider than just your municipality, region, or even your country, universities can have. Look, it's not just about impact rankings. You can see who are the players in the world, but if you look into Australia, 40 million, less 25 million population, they have 8 universities in top 100, and all of them, not all of them, but half of them are looking for the landing in Europe. Some of them have already landed in Barcelona, for example, MIT, because they want to contribute to the impact. And I think the same should be with European universities. Common values among Europeans, but not only. Today we need more friends than just being together Europeans and align with them. Start working and think from a broader perspective, and then this ambition may be becoming closer to your than you thought.
Okay, so creativity, innovativeness, and ambition, or impact-orientedness. Ambitious impact-orientedness, if I understand the two of you correctly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have little time left, but I do not want to miss out on the opportunity to open the floor to 1 or 2 very brief questions, which are going to be replied to with very brief answers. Do we have a question in the audience? Yes, there's one question. And please try to make it short.
Yes, very short. I have a question for Glenn. What should you suggest for us to do and not to do. Must and not to do ever. For one.
For both of you.
Well, I've seen that you have, or that you're also active in the area of entrepreneurship. And I think that's a very good opportunity that the European Universities Initiative opens in this field. Because I guess all of your partner universities already have some activities going on in this area. And now you can think strategically about the next steps where there are gaps. You can analyze your innovation ecosystems and build new offers, and also incorporate and address those students who are not necessarily just only from the tech fields or from economics, but also I think I've heard you have many other disciplines, and there are many examples of successful startups, at least in our innovation ecosystem, that come from psychology or other disciplines that you didn't have on the map. And one thing we experienced that is connected to this, in the beginning we were quite ambitious about joint degrees, joint programs, but what proved as most successful, I have the impression, were short-term mobilities, and that matches very well with those entrepreneurship activities. And they can be extracurricular. Students are very, very interested. To give you a striking example, we have rented a bus for one night to Innovate. It's an event at our partner university in Paris, where the students have to work the whole night on an innovation project, and we just paid them the bus. By the way, the Flixbus, which is from FAU, they went to Paris, worked the whole night, and then they went back by bus. So what would you guess how many students would apply? So they didn't get a hotel or anything. So we had 170 applications, and we just had 10 places. So it's incredible the interest of the students in these kinds of activities.
Maybe
not a very short answer, not to spend too much time on building IT platforms that in the end might not be used too much. The question now is which ones?
From my perspective, you're off to a good start in any case, so congratulations on that. Your mobility numbers are already quite impressive, in my opinion at least. So a good start. It's always a good start. In Europe, we have a specific thematic focus, which is global health. As I understood, you do not have that kind of thematic focus in your alliance. So this might be one area of development at some point. Another point could be external relations. You already mentioned you have external partners, associate partners. What about them? How do you intend to build your network? How do you intend to use them? Could be one aspect to develop as you feel in the time. On the don't do side, I guess, well, I deal a lot with money and budget, and I know that there are times when you need to be careful with the money, but don't get too stingy. Don't get too deep into alliance-wide discussions on how do we want to use the money, how do we want to divide the money, should we do this, should we do that. Just do, spend the money. That's it.
One more short question from the audience. Since I do not see a hand, I'm going to turn back to you for my closing question, and I would like every one of you to briefly answer the question in 1 or 2, maximum 3 sentences. You are all, to one degree or another, involved with the European Alliance European University Alliance, and you have very different experience. So based on your expert knowledge on higher education in Europe, which undoubtedly all of you have, how does transnational cooperation facilitate resilience in addressing future and current challenges? I know this is a big challenge to answer that in 1 to 3 sentences, but I believe in you. Who would like to start?
I can start, yes. So we have the opportunity to educate change makers of tomorrow in our alliances, I think, with extracurricular skills, and we can invest in this, in the future education, and equip our students with the skills necessary to become successful innovators and entrepreneurs to tackle the challenges of tomorrow.
Thank you.
In my opinion, the secret to resilience is a specific kind of mindset. It's a flexible mindset. It's at the alliance level, it means you have to be able to adapt and not, going too deep into the EU bureaucracy, which we all know and love, of course, but we have to be able to change ourselves, change the world around us. That's, for me, the essence of resilience.
In my opinion, you must have a very good strategy to the level of our alliance. A good strategy, and we must have. We must be prepared for the next challenges because there are not few. We have a lot of challenges. And through these our activities, we must be prepared to face these challenges. Because we will have a very strong strategy, a very strong vision about our future, about our competencies, about our students, our training program, etc.
And so, from my side, not being within the alliance, but following them from a bird's view, but not only. First, I think it's about what alliances can contribute. It's about flexibility related to real life. How, through alliance, through the short courses, through adapted, flexible curricula, you can contribute to the success of the students, and that's to me key. Universities are reluctant, and I'm not using consciously labor market needs. I'm using real life and the things what matter today for the success of the people. Through alliances, I think a lot of things can be offered.
Wonderful. Well, we could have continued this panel discussion. I believe there are many more things still to say. However, I do keep in mind that some of you still have to travel long distances today. Therefore, I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your perspectives, for sharing your knowledge. Final round of applause for you. We are almost at the end of our event today, and you know what is coming towards the end of large events such as this, where a lot of work and a lot of dedication goes into the preparation, goes into the organizing. There is always a big thank you for the people who make it happen. And with that, I'll hand over to you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, Lisa. So we had a wonderful week, driven by wonderful people. So without the dedication and the effort that you all put into this week, this would never have been possible. And that's why I want to really say a heartfelt thank you to all of you, because your dedication, all the nights that you spent preparing this week were just amazing. We had great days, we had even greater evenings, right, with a lot of dancing. So we had a really great time. And it's really amazing what you put in as effort into this annual Congress. I'm really very much looking forward to any event that we have. So we are a great team, and you are the persons making that dream. So really, many thanks to your contribution. Really great. also to you, Lisa. I came on the short notice whether you would be willing to moderate this event. You did a wonderful job moderating this event, so I'm very much thank you for your efforts. Among all the wonderful people that made this event happen, there are two especially wonderful people, and you got to know them over the last weeks, and especially over the last days, and also over the last nights. And this is Janine and Camilla. They really did a great Thank you very much. So now, Joe, I think now it's time for your closing remark.
Daniel already said it, I'm just going to repeat what he just already mentioned. Of course, there is no better fit to close this event than the coordinator of our great and wonderful alliance. Welcome to the stage again, João Moutão and Professor Schober.
Okay, thank you. So we are almost finishing this amazing week. So I would like, of course, to thank everyone, but also to ask all the rectors, presidents, and also the institutional coordinators that are here, please to join us in the stage, please. Peter, Lina, Chair. And please bring your institutional coordinator also. And Daniel works also part of this group. Where are Daniel? Please. So. So those persons are also very important. Rectors need to make good decisions, and institutional coordinators are very okay. Once again, these persons are also very important because we need the support of rectors, presidents, and also the institutional coordinators are very important because sometimes rectors and presidents don't have too much time to do things, you know. They are very important. So please again, a big applause for them and thank you so much for all institution, all presidents and rectors, I would like to give to President Walter Schober this gift in name of us all as gratitude for organizing this amazing event in Ingolstadt. Thank you so much. We feel at home here in Ingolstadt with you. Thank you so much.
To all of you, thank you for the support in this activity, in this conference. Especially to all the people here who are engaged not only the last days, all the time since the cooperation exists. Thank you very much.
Now I would like President Walter to passing on the button to Luminita that will host the next annual Congress in Romania. So please, Walter.
I wish you all the best for the next conference, and do it like I do. I have a perfect team. I did all the work. I just tell some words on the stage. That was it. Best wishes to you for the next conference, and we are happy to see you in Romania.
Dear Walter, first of all, I would like to express my deeply gratitude for these events, for your hospitality, for the way to organize this. Let's today, congratulations and thank you for all of that. And finally, I'd like to invite all of you to next year in Romania to the next Kaleidoscope that will be in Romania in October. I don't know exactly 26, but I'd like to invite you. We'll be part of these events next year in Romania. See you in Romania, all of you.
You who are not from Ingolstadt or from the region, a nice comeback, travel at home, and I hope you enjoyed Ingolstadt and keep Ingolstadt in a good mind. Thank you very much.
Safe trip home.
thought this was over.